crazy, interesting, strangest stories you may have heard in a very long time. Today we are talking about the Winchester Mystery House located in San Jose, California. Now, the creator of this wonderful house was Sarah Locke Party, who was born in 1839 and New Haven, Connecticut, to Sarah Burns and Leonard Party. So she was named after her fucking mother.
I mean,
I was waiting to see how long it would take, how long you stayed like that. I was like, is he frozen? Is
no, it's just
wrong.
I mean, I guess it's not a bad name. But you know, who am I to judge? I named my daughter Aerith, so
Hey, that is an awesome fucking name.
Oh, trust me, no. I'm awesome,
and it's unique.
right?
But she was the 5th child out of 7. So she wasn't like she was an only child or anything. But her father, Leonard, managed the city bathing house until finding success as a carpenter. And this provided the family with financial security from. So very quickly, Sarah grew up in a wealthy home environment. She enjoyed the spoils of the luxurious lifestyle. I wish I did.
You know, that's crazy. The fact that they had 7 kids and yet they were still able to be rich.
That's what I'm saying.
I got 4 kids, and the more I have, the poorer I get. All right.
You think Dave has had too much caffeine? I think you're right.
I mean, have you guys even seen my show? Like, I'm everywhere nowadays.
It's funny because you could tell that you're trying to, like, calm yourself down from your normal, like, crazy self.
I really am. I'm trying to bring it down. Like, this is sitting in a business meeting, Dave. This is the Dave you've got now. It's crazy.
It's so funny how you are. Because of the environment that Sarah was brought up in, she was able to be an all-around student. She learned 4 different languages. She excelled in musical composition, math, and science. And she was admitted to the Young Ladies Collegiate Institute in Yale. So she actually went to Yale. Sarah was Oh, go right ahead.
I was going to say, for that time, is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I kid you not, there was probably maybe a handful of women accepted into Yale.
Mom is in the house. Well, hello there, Mother.
Hi, Mom!
Because this is in the 1800s. So during that time, women did not go to school. So, definitely, nowadays, thinking about Yale as someone going to Yale it's really awesome, you know. But back then, it must have been like almost winning the lottery in a sense, like that type of.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, it's a wealthy family, so you know. The second she got that acceptance letter, they had a massive party.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Know it.
And to even think that she was able to go to Yale, again, with 6 brothers and sisters, I would say. She was the 5th out of 7. That's a lot of money. But she was put into an excellent position to actually marry a man that was, you know, just as equally wealthy as her family and equally as smart. So she was very petite. She was only 4 feet 10 inches and around 95 pounds. She quickly developed a reputation as one of the area's youngest beauties and was nicknamed the Belle of New Haven. So she was short, petite, and a lot of men were very intimidated by her.
Oh, that's to say the least. Like, all right, guys, you're looking at her right now, okay, and you're like, she's kind of plain Jane. But like, I wish we had a photo of what the typical woman looks like, and I guarantee you, side by side, you will see that she really was considered like the dream woman. She was smart. She came from a wealthy background, and she was obviously very beautiful. So, you know, she was the dream woman back then.
Let's be honest too. Film and photography weren't a thing back then. This is a painting of her. So how accurate is it, to say the very least? She is pretty, no lie, but like, she does look average in this photo.
Absolutely. And your mom's 100% right. She is pretty. Like, you can look at her and tell that back in her time, she was a beauty. You know, but it's wild how the times have changed so much from back then to today, and still look back at that.
I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, most definitely. But, you know, that kind of set her up to marry her husband. So at the time, she was of age to marry. Her parents already had someone in mind, and they wanted to ensure that their daughter would be taken care of for her entire life. The Party family was introduced to the Winchester family, where Sarah was when Sarah was a very, very young age. So William Wirt Winchester comes into the picture. So just think of this. They've known each other probably since they were wee little ones.
Yeah, like we're probably, so when you're talking like arranged marriages, you're talking like Zion and Eris age is probably when their family started talking.
Most definitely. Yeah.
So you know that they grew up together, and like, and I'm not lying. Look at him, all right? A guy of that stature being married to a woman of that stature, he definitely got the better end of that bargain.
Mom says she's not digging the pork chops.
He's trying to be the first Wolverine, okay?
Wolverine wasn't even a thing back then. Wolverine was becoming him. What you talking about? That's where he got his idea from. Instead, he just kind of flipped up the hair.
Like, it's like he's like, I gotta make sure they could see my chin, so we're just gonna remove all of that. We'll still have the mustache, and then the really long, you know, the mutton chops.
So my mom's here, so I can't be too raunchy, but we all know why that was. Let's move on. I'm gonna get smacked the next time she sees me. So, William was the only son to firearms manufacturer Oliver Winchester. William was the heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company, and the company made a name for themselves as one of the first mass production. What the fuck? I forgot that was on there. You can't hear it, can you?
Nope, I hear nothing.
That caught me off guard. It was like, it's a dying monster, but it sounds like someone choking.
Someone's killing Reptar.
But, so they were one of the very first mass-producing firearm companies.
What's even crazier, not only were they first mass-producing firearm companies, they were the cheapest firearm that was mass-produced at that time.
It really makes you wonder how they were able to do it. Like, because, let's be honest, I don't know.
No joke. Slave labor.
You
Like,
think,
literally. Oh, yeah. No, Winchester family was notorious about underpaying their people, but they made it up by offering to give their people firearms.
oh, wow. I did not know that. I didn't dig too deep into the Winchester background because I didn't want this to be incredibly long because I know how what the hell? What are you talking? Oh, you're talking about the redemption points.
Yeah, so he's got to spend something somehow. So since he's not allowing himself to give out bits or subs, he's using his channel points instead.
You're so funny, Viper. One thing I did learn. Oh,
And
there
then,
we go.
And then.
And
And then.
then. And then.
And then. And then.
No, and then.
So, the Winchester Repeating Arms Company actually were the ones to come up with a weapon that had the ability to fire 15 rounds without reloading. So in 1873, the model was incredibly popular with settlers and was widely used during the American Indian War. Because of the massive sales and increasing popularity, the Winchester family came to quite fortune. That's like a tongue twister for me.
Say it 5 times fast.
The fortune became the founding of Sarah Winchester's strange obsession. So keep that on the back burner.
Yeah, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, the Winchester rifles were, I mean, even today, like if you were to get a 1873 model, would still work, and I guarantee you, that's how well put together those guns were back then.
Well, it's the same with cars. If you really think about it, cars nowadays are so cheaply put together, but cars like from, let's just say, the 1960s were completely different, cheaper, and everything else. Most cars are made out of what? Plastic and like fake. They're not even. What is?
Well, it's because companies have adopted the business model of if it breaks, they have to either pay to get it fixed or buy a new one.
Yep.
So why make something last forever? Because if it lasts forever, they're not making money on repeat business.
1969 AMC Javelin, and it's still in pretty good condition. Exactly.
Yeah, you know, things were made back then. Yeah, fiberglass. But things are made to last back then, you know, and as early as the 1900s and hell, even the 1950s, shit was made to last.
Mm-hmm.
Things nowadays are just made to break because if it breaks, you have to spend money on another one.
Yep. So, on September 30th, 1862, Sarah Winchester married William Winchester. In June of 1866, unfortunately, she gave birth to a daughter named Annie, and unfortunate circumstances happened, and the baby passed away due to be unable to process calories, and it's sad because she got really malnourished. So,
Wow, I actually did not know that one where she lost her first daughter pretty much because her daughter couldn't break down the food she ate.
yeah, really sad. And then they decided after that they weren't going to have any more children. After, just imagine that horrendous experience happening. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, you literally have to sit there and watch your child starve to death.
That's pretty
And
much
there's not
what
a thing
happened,
you
yeah.
can do about it.
Only 6 weeks old, passed away. So some say that she really never truly recovered, so to speak, from this experience. And she believed that the Winchester's families profited from the death, and unfortunately, it wasn't really something that she could cope with, because she felt like the reason why her daughter died was because all these people were getting killed by this rifle, or this company that created these rifles. So she thought it was a way of karma coming back, in a sense.
Well, let's be honest. The Winchester, the 1873, had a 2-to-1 kill ratio over every firearm at that time. So, meaning that gun killed twice as many people as any other gun. And it was because of the large magazine and the way it was made, it didn't jam.
Yeah.
So they were just able to just keep going until they were out of ammo.
You know, I during my research, I kind of reviewed someone actually shooting one of these, and all it was an easy as shooting, pull the little lever, cock it back, push it back in, and then shoot again. And it was like, probably could do that within like 2 seconds. Like, honestly, they were doing it slower because the fact that they were showing, but
right
in that, it's, I don't know. It's definitely, she thinks that her daughter's death was because of a curse, so to speak. The Winchester curse.
I mean, honestly, once you lose a child, I mean, we've been there. When you lose a child, you look for a reason. Why did I lose a child? Some look at God, some look at their previous life.
Yep.
You know, she just looked at this firearm because she was right of how many people it killed. You know, that had to be the reason that she lost her child.
It's true, because you always think, why? Why did something like this happen to me? And this gave a reason for that why for her. Now, is it necessarily true? I don't think so. I don't think there was any specific curse on her. But who knows?
You know, let's be honest. For lack of a better reasoning, shit happens.
Yep.
You know?
Most definitely. So, in 1988... I'm sorry, 1988. 1880. Oh my gosh. In 1880, William's father, Oliver, died, leaving the company in his hands to his only son. So just 1 year later, in March of 1881, William passed away due to a long battle of tuberculosis. So Sarah ended up inheriting a 50% stake in the company, which is worth approximately $20 million. And this is equivalent to about $500 million today.
Now, let me remind you guys, Sarah not only was one of a few women that graduated Yale, was from a very wealthy family. Now she inherited a company worth literally more money than she could have spent back then, which actually leads to what she's about to do.
Yep, exactly. Most definitely. So she was, to be said, the wealthiest woman in the world at that time. So she was... Is Bill Gates even still the most wealthiest? Or is it like... Who is it nowadays?
I think it's Elon Musk now, I think.
Yeah, he just bought fucking Twitter.
Yeah, Elon Musk is worth $212 billion right now.
Holy moly guacamole. Oh, and real quick, I didn't know if you knew this, but Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, she actually dated him.
Really? She dated...
Yes.
Oh, shit.
She dated
No wonder.
him after Johnny Depp and her split.
No wonder Elon Musk is all fucked up in his head.
Little side note right there. But, so in a very short time, she lost not only her daughter, she lost her father-in-law, and then she lost her husband. Within, I think it was like a 15-year span. I mean, but that's still very short time frame to some. Thank you for the follow. Why is it
I'll take thee away into a
How are you doing tonight? So, after this happening, she had all this money. She wasn't sure what to do with it. She decided that she was going to help Yale, the college that she graduated from, by building a memorial hospital in her late husband's name. So she donated the funds to help build the William Wirt Winchester Hospital for tuberculosis patients in West Haven. So she took some of that money and tried doing good with it, which is amazing because most people wouldn't.
Just a little random fact, that hospital was later sold and became the Veterans Administration Hospital.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So this hospital was leased to the military after World War I and World War II, and it eventually became the Veterans Administration Hospital.
I'll just shut up now.
And now the previous you caught me off guard with that.
My bad.
Because she you never shut up. So by you saying that you're going to shut it's hard to believe, and you just caught me off fucking guard. So yeah. I'm sorry.
Wow, you're a little flustered there, buddy.
Yeah. So now it's considered the Winchester Chest Clinic at Yale. So she still technically has a portion of the hospital, but it's under the chest section. Fuck. Dave. Gosh. Anyways. See, people don't really know you, so people that know you that are in here, fuck you, know that this is very awkward for me because I'm not used to you being this way. So I'm like, what do I do with my hands?
I even done push to talk, so when I get the urge to talk, you won't hear it. So I'm trying super hard to be good.
So like I said before, you know, Sarah inherited this fortune. She believed that it came with the dark side and a curse. So she considered it blood money. So she knew that thousands of people died ultimately to the Winchester guns, and more and more and more will as it goes on. It was said that Sarah requested help from a medium in Boston, which is just a few hours from her location in New Haven. She shared her guilt over the thousands of victims, and according to the medium, the only way not to be tormented by spirits were to move west and build a home for the lost souls. So if she didn't follow this request, she was risked to eternal damnation at the hands of angry spirits. That is when she made her life's mission to follow the advice of the medium. Now, I'm gonna be honest. That bitch knew that this girl was... She knew she was preying on this girl that lost her daughter, lost her fucking husband, lost her father-in-law. And she was like, well, let me see what I could get this lady to do.
How crazy would that be? She comes in and that medium's like, oh, this shit's gonna be fun.
Let me fuck with her.
Let's see what this chick believes.
So, Sarah really became reclusive and antisocial. She had no friendships with any of the townspeople or any of her neighbors. She remained a mystery to them, and her neighbors could only speculate on why she would dump so much money into her home. So
Well, it gets even crazier than that, because not only was she reclusive, but when anyone interacted with her, she only answered questions that she thought was important.
Yep.
So you could be like, "Hey, how are you doing?"
she
And
was-
nothing.
Yep.
What can I do for you? Okay, I need this, 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 and this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how soon would you need it?
Have you been
How are you
there
going to pay me
before?
for it?
Durzo blend. Did I say that right? Durzo blend. Is that how you would pronounce it, Dave?
Yeah, that's how I'd go for it.
Um,
Durzo blend. Yep. You
I
got
want
it
to
right.
go there. So I've actually had a session of this house since I was younger. I think when everyone had cable TV, when everyone actually had cable TV instead of streaming services, I watched several different like documentaries. I don't remember exactly which channel it was on or anything like that, but they would do like documentaries on the architecture of the house, and then they'll do documentaries on like the spiritual aspects of the house. And Dave, I do have to say, I just realized you still have your hot tub off in the background. I have not noticed. Yeah, exactly. What's cable?
Oh my god.
For
Sid.
some reason, it just kind of like, I forgot about it.
Would you like me to turn it off?
No, keep it up.
Okay.
No, I just realized that it was still on.
You know, it's funny that you say back when, we had cable. I didn't think you were old enough to know what cable was.
You're so funny. You make it sound like you're so much older than me. This is the bickering that we have because he's like my brother. And
I'm ancient as fuck, alright?
Shut up. You're only like 5 years older than I am. 6 years older than I am.
Which is a lot of years, alright?
You thought it was the world? So do you want to... How about you tell that story about why we have hot tubs? I mean, I don't have one now, but why we utilize the hot tub.
So, there was this one time at band camp.
Oh my god.
No, in all seriousness, alright, so in all seriousness, me and Sid share a hatred. Okay, I won't go as far as a hatred, but at least a dislike of women streamers that use their bodies, and it's not even so much the women streamers, it's more the guys that flock to that shit.
Yeah.
But women streamers that flaunt their body for bits and subs and follows, and when you get past the looks of the woman, there's nothing there. And we share that dislike of that kind of stream. So she was talking to a friend of ours trying to push him into streaming, and she's like, "You should have a hot tub stream." And he found a stock photo of a hot tub, and he put it on his background. And then, of course, Sid's like, "Oh, I gotta have one of those." And then she sent it to me. She's like, "You gotta have one of those." And yeah, so Sid has essentially started the hot tub cult.
But it's not a real hot tub. It's the hot tub streams that are appropriate.
Right. You won't see any biddies here, guys.
And no, I don't stream with hot tubs on this channel. Just I have a gaming channel that I also have. Like I can't even talk today. It's this
Shameless
COVID's hit me
plug.
even harder today than it has the previous 3 days.
That's what she said.
That's why I'm so out of it. But
Hey guys, it's getting harder in here, so you might want to back up a couple of steps.
You're so funny. So should we get back into this now that we've ranted about hot tubs, and time machines, and
I apologize. That was my fault, guys.
No,
That's what
not.
Dave
I asked
does.
you to do it.
No. That's when Dave comes around, nothing goes to plan, all right?
You know what? you're talking about shameless plugs. Maybe I should plug in my merch right now. Thanks, Dave.
Yes, you're welcome.
So right now, I do have a merch shop for Mystery Girls Inc. There's a link in the the channel right now that it actually just put out. This is my normal merch that I have every single week, and then I also do a limited edition merch. So this is the limited edition merch from the last 2 weeks. I've been on Sundays talking about Hotel Cecil. This week is going to be a new episode, but let me show you. This is one of the first designs of it. So this is the front of the shirt, and then on the back I had the Hotel Cecil put on it. You can't really see. I got this one quicker than my doll's shirt. I still don't have that one.
You know, it's funny. We got the Gotta Slash 'Em All shirt like the day after you and Stevie did your last or the podcast for
last week
for the Cecil, right? And then she just got the doll one like 2 or 3 days ago.
I still haven't gotten it, and we ordered it the same day.
Right, like the exact same day.
Yeah. But let's get back into it. So, Sarah then decided that to evade these spirits, that she was going to buy in 1886 a 40-acre plot of land that included an 8-room cottage. So this is what the cottage looked like before anything was built.
Guys, you need to understand that this does not do justice for the size of that house.
That house is huge in itself.
Right. What we're about to cover makes this look like a dollhouse. I kid you not.
Yes, it does. So, that's when she decided to rebuild it into a 160-room mansion. And it was said to be the world's longest home renovation and most unusual, sprawling place. This home is what we know as the Winchester Mystery House of today. The construction happened from 1886 to 1922, so it stopped when Sarah passed. It is...
Like,
go right ahead.
you look at that thing and it looks like a freaking town.
It does. Okay, those are people. I'm like, hold on a second. Are those people on that balcony? And I'm like...
Yeah.
So, it was 24,000 square feet. Has over 10,000 windows. I can't talk. You know what? I'm just going to give you the reins of the show. It has 2,000 doors, 52 skylights, 47 stairs and fireplaces, 17 chimneys, 13 bathrooms, 2 basements, 3 elevators, and 6 kitchens.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Today, Junior. So, the construction had a price tag of $5 million in 1923, which equates to over $71 million today.
Just those numbers, all right? We're talking 10,000 windows, okay? 2,000 doors, 52 skylights, 47 stairways. Like, guys, these are real life numbers for the 1800s, early 1900s. That is astronomical.
It's fucking crazy. And there was no master plan. So, there's no blueprints of where, you can go back. And older places used to have, like, blueprints of the house where the owners would, like, keep it all nice. And so, just in case they needed it, she didn't have one.
In fact, like, she would go to workers that would be working on something, and she'd be like, stop what you're doing, this is what you need to do instead.
Yep. Need it. So records show that the house had 16 carpenters and a huge amount of other labor workers that would work in shifts around the clock. So she would hire construction crews on a staggered schedule so that they had no idea what the other crew was doing. She would direct them to build directly on the farmhouse as if she saw fit. And during this time, she was regularly visited by spiritualists and mediums from across the city. So she would invite them to direct her how to best appease these spirits. And regardless of the answer of these spiritualistics, Sarah never ceased construction on her mansion. She continuously made additions and adjustments for the sake of the ghostly inhabitants. And like Dave said earlier, yeah, if someone told her to stop doing something, she would stop doing it and have them redirect them to do something completely different. It's crazy. Now,
yeah, we have to go back to your earlier comment just real quick. All right, the original spiritualist or mediums that she saw, how many of them were like, yeah, I'm not liking the way that this is looking. We should do this instead.
Yep.
Not that, don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't believe in mediums or psychics or spiritualists or any of that. But I do believe that there are more fake ones than there are real.
Yep. Because of
and
money.
And we're talking 1800s, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We weren't too far past witch hunting.
Nope.
So you know that the real ones weren't all about, yeah, hi, I can do this.
Yep. Most definitely. Again, preying on the weak. That's what they're doing, is preying on the weak. They knew, oh, if I need some money, let me go visit Sarah in Winchester and tell her what she needs to do next.
And she had those. She had spiritualists show up on her door. I was woken from my dream, and I was told to give you a message. It's going to be the usual fee, but you won't mind that.
Yep. Exactly. Because she had all this money. She's like, okay, blood money, let's get rid of it. I'll get rid of it any way I need to. So she would. She would go ahead and allow these people to direct her in which way she was going to build her mansion. So, you think the size of the mansion is amazing. That's the least remarkable thing about her home. She was attempting to confuse any ghostly spirits that were hoping to contact her by adding many odd and mysterious features around her mansion. Some examples are doors that open to walls, stairways that lead to the ceilings, doors that open to several story drops, hallways that lead to nowhere, and windows that open to interior rooms. She truly believed that she could have these ghostly apparitions get lost in their ways to haunt her. So she was really thinking that if she can confuse these ghosts, that they would never find her inside the home.
And that was the way she looked at it. She's like, I'm not going to have them drag me to my damnation. I'm going to spend this blood money and essentially appease them that way. And for those spirits who aren't appeased of me getting rid of the blood money, I will attract them to my house of mazes, essentially.
Yep.
And they would get lost here and I'd be fine.
Yep. And if you enter the building without a guide, it is said that you are highly likely to get lost and spend hours looking for a way out. There are a multitude of rooms that lead from one room to the next without a visible or viable exit. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. I should have... Dave.
Just woosah. You're doing a fantastic job. Chat, isn't she doing a fantastic job? Come on, guys.
Hype me up and shit.
You got this, girl. These little mistakes mean nothing to how entertained they are. I mean, look at them. They're speechless.
Exactly. So the house is crammed with trapdoors, secret passages, bizarre face skylights, including one in the floor. So there's a skylight in the floor. And spiderweb windows. And we're gonna actually get into these windows right now. So she loved luxurious lifestyle. So even though she made these modifications for these ghosts, she wanted to make sure that her lifestyle was still luxurious. So she would have, or she had over the 10,000 panes of glass, but not all of them are just like normal glass. A lot of them were fancy, intricate stained glass windows. And get this, they were made by Tiffany and Company. First designer, Louis Comfort Tiffany. So the windows were quite important to Sarah's history because she designed them herself. And her favorite things were spider webs and the number 13. So if you look at this specific stained glass, it has 13 little dots in it. Are you counting?
Which, no.
Oh, I thought you were counting them.
No, it's crazy. I was gonna say that's actually one of the few things that I share in common with her. My favorite number is also 13.
Really? Well, we'll get into the 13 more later as well. But in the glass aspect of 13, she also had more windows in the house featured in the Daisy room. These windows were made to best represent the room itself. So there was another 13 occurred here in petals. And you could see right here in this glass, I think, yeah, all of them have 13 petals on them. Which, how many petals does a daisy truly usually have?
Let me go pick one and I'll let you know.
I'm sure you have one in your big ass yard.
I have, God, the state flower for Texas. Blue bonnets. I have blue bonnets. I've got Indian paintbrush, but I do not have any daisies.
Oh, okay. So a flower consists of central yellow discs surrounded by a well, obviously we know that. But most daisy flowers have between 30 to 54 petals. And here I am thinking that was like a me leaf, like 5. Like, you know how you see...
It's got the 4 petals, one that's up, one to the left and right, one at the bottom.
Yeah, that's how I thought daisy was. I was like, 13? That's a lot. A dollop for daisy, yes. So the home also had most advanced technology as well money could ever buy. So she had forced air, central heat, and running water. Or running hot water, I'm sorry. The home showed off Sarah's fortune and all of it being exclusive. Because at this time, nobody really had those type of things. Especially females. Like, let's be honest. Around this time frame, there weren't... I saw that one coming. And it's not even scary. And I was like, I was waiting for that jump scare, even though I know there's nothing scary on this fucking channel like that yet.
Take it from me. If you're smart, you won't add it.
So, I think what she was doing was not only trying to show off her money, but she was also, thank you for the biddies. We appreciate it.
Girl, and I'm gonna put a spell on you. I'm gonna put a spell on you.
You're welcome.
I love that song. I love Scooby-Doo.
I know.
You know, I'll have to introduce Aerith to Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
You would be late. It's already been done.
The dying monster. You should have heard me earlier, Toxic. His wife did it, and I was like, what the fuck is that noise?
The look on her face was even better. I kid you not. Like, her eyes got all big, and she's like...
I forgot it was on there. Not only that, I was, you own all of the Scooby-Doo movies? Really? I love Scooby-Doo.
Congrats, Durzo. You just became her favorite person, all right?
Where do you think I went? I was here.
Did you go get a pack of cigarettes and decide to come back?
No, it was the milk. Duh.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, shit. So I think what she was doing is trying to show off her money. that
Even
she
I'm
has,
eatable.
as well
But
as...
that is called cannibalism, my dear children, and is in fact frowned upon in most societies.
Look at you, Toxic. You're such a good significant other.
But I think she was trying to show off her money as well as trying to use up the money as much as she could. So do you think that she was trying to show off in a sense? Like, how
Oh yeah,
do you-
definitely. Well, you got to realize that for as long as she can remember, she's had a life of wealth and you know, she comes to live a certain way.
Mhm.
So granted, she doesn't want to be eternally damned because of this blood money, but she's also not going to live meek
Yeah.
because of it.
Yeah. So there was only one thing that really slowed down her in this process. And what slowed her down was the earthquake of 1906. So San Francisco had a huge earthquake and it toppled the 7-story central tower and upper floors of the mansion. And Sarah was terrified of this occurrence. She thought it was a sign from God. So she contracted twice as many construction workers and started having them disassemble the 7 vertical stories, and her plans started to expand out instead of going up. So,
Well, I'm sure you've heard the biblical story of the Tower of Babylon.
yeah.
Where man got together and built a construction to get to God. And that's actually why the Bible says that there's so many languages, because God made it impossible for humans to contact or connect verbally to each other, so they couldn't build this structure again. So she looked at it that way, biblically, like she was getting too close to God.
Yep.
Look, I've spent too much time with you. I fucking up my words.
Yeah, I've been fucking up my words for the last almost 31 years. Could you imagine?
Guys, you heard that. She's 30 and a half.
No. My birthday's in like...
Definitely,
7,
definitely
14, 18 days. I had to count.
Did you
I can't do math.
What is 23 minus 5?
That would have been a lot easier. Didn't think of that. And your birthday is in 8 days.
Nope, I don't have a birthday. I was just spawned here on this planet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Toxic. Wow. Like, wow.
Don't judge.
No judgment here, but I'm amazed that you remember how old you are, okay?
I'm... With how many kids I have and what the stress they put on me, I'm surprised I know my age and my name. Let alone anything else. Oh, shit. So, she, by this time, already spent $2 million. Or, not $2 million, but millions of dollars on reconstructing 2 decades of life's work on this house. So when Sarah lived in the Winchester mansion, she purchased a houseboat in San Francisco, California. Some say that she purchased and kept the houseboat, and it was known as Sarah's Ark. So, makes sense. Now that you said that, it makes sense. Because she thought there was going to be a flood.
Yeah, she was very biblical, very afraid. She was very spiritual. Like, yeah, it's...
You know, at first I thought it was because she wanted to keep her upscale wealthy status and flaunt it. But now that you said that, it makes so much sense. But
I mean, in your notes, you put it perfectly. An Old Testament style flood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She literally thought that makes, you know, I didn't even think of it that way. The way that you said, oh, she's getting too close to God. I never even thought of that until you put it that way.
Yeah, no, she is like, for someone, okay, so when you go to Yale does not teach you religion.
No.
Yale is very much, it teaches you science.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone to have graduated from there and then turn around and hard turn into religion,
Mm-hmm.
you know the loss of her daughter, father-in-law, and then husband, and that time period,
Mm-hmm.
totally messed up her head.
Oh yeah.
Like,
most
fully
definitely.
turned her towards God.
Oh yeah. So from the time that she moved to San Jose in the late 1800s, Sarah Winchester made quite a name for herself, thanks to her obsession with the afterlife. She had to put up with rumors of an insanity and supernatural possession for a duration of her life. So in 1922, Sarah Winchester passed away peacefully in her sleep. Her house went into the hands of her secretary and niece, who sold it at auction. Today, it remains a tourist attraction in San Jose, drawing everyone's attention because of all the strange details in the house, especially the 160 rooms that they have. Imagine walking into a room that has been closed for so many years, and it's like a time capsule in a sense.
I don't think that she was enjoying what she was doing. She just kept going. I really do think that she was more afraid of the unknown. She was afraid of the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
She was afraid of death, and she was afraid of what was waiting for her because her last name was Winchester.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do believe that this house was a way to protect her from what she was afraid of.
But they made it a good argumentable, like, point, in a sense, like, on why she did it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like, don't get me wrong. From a non-spiritual look, you would see the love and effort put into this house. But what they didn't cover is that, yes, even though she was willing to try new things, these weren't necessarily her inventions.
Most definitely.
She was paying other people to do this. So,
yes.
You know, that's why I believe that she really wasn't enjoying it. She was just running from the inevitable.
Most definitely. I believe that too. I think that she was afraid, like, of death, as you said. I think, to be honest, I think the death of her daughter may have really mentally messed her up. And so she was fearful of everything. And that's why she didn't really speak, like you said before. How she would only respond to people if she thought it see fit. I think because she was afraid to, not necessarily that she was afraid to speak, but like she was afraid of what could come out of it, so to speak.
Afraid of, you know, who she may affect, whose other sins she may have to pay for.
Most definitely, yes. So it does state that, you know, in the video that we just watched, that the house was open to tourists in 1923, and it's actually designated as a historical landmark. So it is privately owned, and is run as a tourist attraction, but it is considered a historical landmark. Some people say that the Winchester Mystery House is haunted, while others say it is charged with negative energy. Some just say that it's a strange house for a crazy woman's, 30-year performance art piece, so to speak. So there are a lot of opinions regarding Sarah. And
oh yeah, there's so many opinions and so many, I know the real truth, when honestly none of us know what was going on in that woman's head.
No, only her. Only her. So during the point where they were construction on the house, many construction workers would report, odd happenings, strange noises, cold spots on the property. One night crew reported seeing and appeared to be an older woman holding a candle in the darkness, watching them work in the early hours. And then when they asked Sarah about it, she was like, there is no older woman on the property. It probably freaked her out even more. Well, hello there, beautiful girl. She's like, Dad, what can I get into? What will you allow me to do today?
That is literally what is going through her little noggin.
She's like, what could I get away with today? So workers weren't the only ones that were reporting strange occurrences. Over the years, as she lived at the property, Sarah herself had numerous run-in with ghosts. There's even local legends today that surround the property of tall tales of spirits that lived around and within the Winchester Mystery House. So not necessarily the house itself, but the property itself. Things could have occurred on the property well before her time, and that's why some of these ghostly apparitions are being seen. Do you think, how do you feel about it this far? Like, do you feel like it's from the Winchester rifle, or do you think it's the area that she lived in or chose, or what do you think?
So I think this is kind of like the take you were taking on the Cecil Hotel, where it's just the atmosphere attracted those kind of people.
Yes.
But I think it was... Sorry about that. My son just pulled a Peter Griffin. So, anyways, I think it's her the fact that she's focusing so hard on the paranormal.
Mm-hmm. She's festering it.
Right. I really do think it's her own personal feelings towards her fortune and towards her life and the misfortunes she's had. And I think that energy turned into kind of a beacon. And then, of course, she welcomed all these carpenters into the area, mm-hmm. and told them why she was doing what she was doing. Their energy also added. And mm-hmm. I think that attracted spirits of the time. Now, you got to realize the West was wild. Mm-hmm. It wasn't civilized. People were dying from everything back then. Mm-hmm. So all of this energy could be a beacon for ghosts and the paranormal, if you will.
I've said this before, and I'll say it, and I'll continue to say it on this channel. I wholeheartedly believe in the paranormal, but I don't fester on it. I don't really think about it or talk about it outside of this. Like, once I'm doing my research and everything, yes, that's one thing. But once you start thinking about it and going down that alleyway is when you open the door for things to start happening for yourself and your family. And I try to stay clear of that as much as possible because of my past experiences.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Negative energy attracts negative energy.
Most definitely.
You see it in everything that you do nowadays, like news. Negative news attracts negative news. Negative people attract negative people. Negative streamers attract negative viewers. It's an everyday thing. We all see it on a daily basis.
So my past experiences were more so when I was younger. When I don't know if I really want to talk about it right now because I may end up doing a show just strictly on personal experiences, like not just my own, but.
So Ozera, what you're gonna need to do is just keep an eye on her listings, and one day you will see something pop up saying Mystery Girls Inc. passed. Or...
What I can say is that I have not only felt like it's been paranormal in the aspect of like spiritual and ghostly things, but I also have had like demonic things happen, as well as animals as well, so to speak. So there's quite a different experiences that I've had. My children have had as well. That I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to spoil like for a show idea.
Like I said, check out future listings. Next time on MGI.
Yeah. Spoil. Dave said no.
Sorry. Come back next time, I promise you. You'll learn something
it may
new.
not be next time. Don't say that.
I didn't say you were going to talk about it next time. I just said they may learn something new next time.
So I'm actually going to go in on a story behind a specific spirit on this property. And it is said his name is Clyde. So that's Clyde right there. Or supposedly this is Clyde. He is a man with a mustache and kind eyes. And he seems to like be one of those people that have like the twinkle in their eyes. And like they're just like a smile like all the time. He is known often to be spotted wearing a cowboy hat and pushing a wheelbarrow. And he's one of the friendly ghosts that are said to be around this property. It's assumed that Clyde was a worker of the farmhand, a worker or farmhand that died on the property possibly before Sarah resided there. It is said that he is often spotted by tourists and newly hired employees of the house doing yard work and fixing door hinges and stuff like that. So trying to just repair the house itself.
My daughter's asleep.
There are also said to be many others lurking through the halls and outskirts of the house itself. They are said that they are sad, confused spirits trapped between this life and the afterlife, or just tortured souls crying out for help, which is unclear if these souls are died violently by the rifle that Winchester made, or if it's just pretty much like you said, if it's just the negative energy of the place itself bringing these ghostly things in.
So being honest, being a religious man, I really do think it's all of the above. I really do think it's a troubled woman trying to make up for the sins of her family's company, on top of the energy of her and all the paranormal investigators, or not investigators, but all the paranormal like mediums and things like that, plus the workers, and granted, I did say some of them are going to be fake, but that's the thing. Some of them are going to be fake. Some of them are going to be real. And when you open that door into the unknown, things can come through.
Most definitely. I really, really, truly believe the same thing that you do. Because I'm a religious woman. Sorry, I'm distracted by him. Squirrel.
You know, Ozara, that's actually a great point. You know, some people say like imaginary friends aren't actually imaginary friends, but ghosts.
I
that
believe
kids
that.
see.
I believe that 100%. Not all the time. I do think that kids do have imaginations. But I do believe that there are very high possibility that it are ghosts that they're seeing. And it's, again, what you allow to happen in your house. If you fester negative energy, if you're in a home full of you and your spouse are arguing constantly and, you know, having that, what is the word I'm looking for? Tension? No.
That works. Tension and negative energy, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, when don't get me wrong, relationships you fight because it's two people coming together to live a life together. You guys aren't going to agree on everything. Okay, you're going to fight. But there are some couples that definitely shouldn't be together and still tried to force it.
Mm-hmm.
And that fighting and the negative energy and the tension and the aggression
Brings
I
stuff like that. It brings negative
absolutely.
things into your home and into your life.
I agree 100%. You know, that's kind of why one of my sayings is negative begets negative.
Mm-hmm.
Positive begets positive. You know, if you think positive things will happen to you. You think negative things will happen to you. And I think spirits and the other world is the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. So, we're just finishing up here. We don't have too much longer. If you don't already know that there is a movie based off of this crazy, crazy, crazy place, it's called Winchester. Now, I never saw this movie before doing my research on this specific show. And let me say, this is one of my favorites. It's in my tops now. I love this movie.
This movie is actually why I looked into the Winchester. Like, don't get me wrong, I like guns and I know a little bit about Winchester, and to be honest with you, Winchester and my family heritage actually share stories together.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to hijack the show with that. But
No, go ahead and say.
So one of my great grandfathers was one of the first Texas Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
And he was issued a Winchester rifle that was actually passed down throughout my family, and my father owns it. You know, along with 2 Colt 6 shooters, and you know, it's the gun. And I know we're not trying to get into the paranormal, so I won't dig too much into it. But the gun has an aura, if you know what I mean. Like, if you've ever handled something with an aura, you feel kind of cold. Kind of like something sucking your energy. You feel kind of tired. You feel clammy, kind of like you're sick. And this gun, I kid you not, when you hold it, definitely gives you that feeling. And the second you let it go, you're fine. You no longer have the chills. You're no longer clammy. You no longer feel like drained. So I am a firm believer just because of that.
Are you going to be inheriting that gun?
So let's put it this way: I am the black sheep of the family.
Okay.
It will be going to my little brother, but my little brother and me have an agreement that if he doesn't have any offspring of his own, it will be coming into my family.
Okay. That's good. That's cool, though. A little bit of history.
Yeah, you know, and it's kind of weird, because you know this rifle is kind of a family joke about, you know, us owning a haunted object. And then I saw this movie actually on Netflix 5 or 6 years ago, and it just intrigued me and it sucked me in. Like, I went down the rabbit hole. I spent hours of researching information just because of how intriguing it is. And like the pictures you guys have seen, the videos you guys have seen, don't do it justice.
No,
like this,
not at all.
this house is massive, and like you know, you can look at the story and be like, oh, well, she built hallways that led to nothing. You know, she just changed her mind. Or oh, you know, she just changed something so you couldn't access certain rooms. And but it really is just, you look at it and it doesn't give you any information.
Most definitely. Hey, Blitz. We have not ever been to the house, actually. We were just talking about that earlier, how it would be cool. Dave said that give him a week alone. But we're going to actually get into the Winchester movie itself now. Just an FYI, there may be some spoilers in this, and if you don't want to hear any spoilers of the movie, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say.
Still stay here, watch the rest of this podcast, and then go watch the movie, because I guarantee you, regardless of what spoilers we have, it's
nothing compared. Yeah, it's nothing compared to what...
The movie is amazing, and there was some liberties to it. What movie isn't? But still, the facts that the movie gives you are just, it's amazing. You really need to check it out if you have not done so.
If you don't want to hear it, get out. You know what, Vibe?
No, because you all want to hear it. I guarantee you, you all came here for a reason, and it's to hear this from her. So stay, let us spoil the movie for you, and then go watch it anyways, because it's a great movie, I promise.
So, it is actually really cool. I don't know if these items are still located in the house, but they did allow the home to display some of the costumes during a specific time. Like I said, I don't know if they're still there or not, but I thought that was cool. It was probably some sort of agreement, like in the what's it called? The contract that they had, because they did film on the property where they could, obviously. So I wonder if there was some sort of documentation set up to where, oh, well, afterwards, let's have some of these costumes on hand so that way we get more people visiting.
Oh, you know it. You know it. They're like, we're just going to add little things from the movie so that when people come in, they're like, oh, I saw that in the movie.
Yep, most definitely.
You know it.
You know, I've been to Disney World, and they do that at Disney World, like in Epcot, where they'll have specific areas, or Hollywood Studios as well. It's not called Hollywood Studios anymore, is it? I don't remember.
I have no idea.
I don't remember what it's called. But they have certain areas where, you know, costumes and stuff such from movies are on display. Your son just walked in with his undies.
I apologize, chat. My kids are my kids, and none of them freaking have modesty, okay?
Oh, shit. That was funny. Anyways, let's keep on going. So, in the section, we're going to do spoilers now. In the section of the movie where the doctor is evaluating Sarah, he actually mentions roller skates, like in a sly comment. And I don't know if you remember this, Dave, but she looks up at him and just kind of smirks, and then they keep on going. Well, in reality, Winchester Repeating Arms did actually branch out into household goods. So this also included roller skates. But it was said that she may have not been involved in that aspect, but it was funny little twerk that they put into the movie.
So yeah, that is definitely a Hollywood added fact, because Sarah actually wanted nothing to do with the company more than she had to, because she felt every interaction with the company damned her soul more. So it is a little nod, you know, a historical fact thrown in there, and to make it sense, they made it sound like it came from Sarah, but Sarah absolutely wanted nothing to do
most definitely
with Winchester.
Also, another spoiler for the movie is that there was no doctor. So Dr. Eric Price was a fictional character that they made up in the movie. So it is said that Dr. Price in the movie was hired by the board of supervisors for the Winchester Rifle Company to stay with Sarah and evaluate her to make sure that she was sane and that she wasn't going crazy. This actually never really did happen in real life.
Another fun fact, the reason that she didn't want a doctor is because she went to Yale. Again, very heavy science-based school. And she thought scientifically she was crazy, but spiritually sound in mind. So she didn't want to welcome people into her home that would be like, oh, you're crazy.
Yep.
You know, in fact, she fired workers whenever she would hear them banter about the crazy old lady.
And I would too. Hell. So another thing is one of the first characters that we meet is the great nephew Henry, which Sarah's niece didn't have a son. She actually adopted a daughter later on in life, but it was like after the timeline of the movie. So there was no Henry, there was no son getting possessed by a ghost. Sorry if there was any random message. I don't think there was, Young Gun. So, as we spoke about before, and you stated as well, Sarah's favorite number was 13. In the movie, she calls it a divine number. She doesn't really state that it's her favorite number, but if you remember, they used 13 nails to board up the rooms. So things throughout the movie were, in sequence of 13. You okay?
So yeah, to be completely honest with you, there were so few instances of 13 in the house that it's hard to say if that was really her favorite number or you got to realize at one point 13 was not a unlucky number, it was a lucky number. And who's to say that a lot of people didn't think, hey, this will bring good luck. And also, like, she's trying to scrub her soul of the sins of the Winchester Company. Maybe she was trying to add good luck to her house.
So you said there was so little reminiscence of 13 in the house that it just could be a coincidence or something that they're just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was saying, 13 is a lucky number for some. So who's to say that those windows weren't created with 13 objects because, that's, the manufacturer of said objects, like, 13 is a good luck number, so let's stick with 13. Or, there's a scientific thing when you see something, or I'm sorry, when you look for something, you tend to find it.
Yes, most definitely.
So, like, if you're looking for spiritual things, like, I could look around my living room and see nothing spiritual. But if I look throughout my living room and I'm specifically looking for things that may be spiritual, more than likely I'll find a thing or two.
Oh, most definitely. I agree. So, even though the actress Helen Mirren would have towered over the real Miss Winchester, who was 4'10", she probably stooped a little bit because of her arthritis. So they chose her because look at how similar she looks. But she still was, even taller. She's short for her. Okay, 5'4" nowadays is short. Am I right? So...
Yeah, typically.
What's up? What's up, Young Gun? Sorry. So Michael Spearing and his brother, is that how you say their name? Spiring? I was trying to figure out how to say it. It's the brothers. They're Michael and Peter.
I think it's Spearig.
Spearig? But they're actually the ones that directed this movie, and they went into saying and having an interview with Cosmopolitan, saying that they think that she just wasn't a crazy woman interested in ghosts, that they believe that she wanted to show off her fortune, as we've been saying this whole time. Helen was the perfect one for the role, and they found her, which is really crazy. Monster, woo! I'm going to read a channel sound, but there is a cooldown time. Oh, I don't know. I can't change that right now. Also, the filmmakers did say they didn't have any crazy or spooky occurrences that happened during the filming. They stated that they had the normal, house settling noises, the creaking and stuff like that, but they didn't really have anything unexplained happen while they were there. Now, they did state that because of the earthquake happening, obviously some of the floors were not able to be utilized because they're no longer there. So they did have to use props for that, but other than that, they shot at the location. So they shot the movie there. And
which is crazy.
Yeah. Absolute nuts. So for them to be there for so long and say that they never really encountered anything spiritual, I believe that, again, people fester what they want to fester. If they believed in the shit, then they would see. Like, maybe they didn't believe in it. Maybe they do, and they just don't want that negative energy. I don't know. But
it's very hard to tell what the case is. And sorry to cut you off.
No.
You're absolutely right. Energy bequeaths energy. But also, with that being said, we don't know what the filming was like. If you've got 100 people hustling and bustling to produce a film, how many of those 100 people are going to be looking for something supernatural? And how will the supernatural interact when it's loud? Mm-hmm. Or when there's a bunch of people? There's so many questions out there. It's hard to be like, oh, well, since they were there, this is damning evidence. Mm-hmm. This is just one case of where nothing happened.
Most definitely. Yeah, because there are occasions where it's said that spirits, or ghosts, have messed with newly hired people that work at this location. Different energies as well. Yes, different energies. Yeah. People, I think things attract to certain energies, and if the person is a certain way, it's very well will be that. I can't think. But
you're good. You're doing fantastic. Just deep breath
through COVID and all.
Yeah, guys, you need to understand. Normally she's not this way, but she is battling COVID. I mean, guys, come on. She's sitting here for almost 2 hours talking to you guys about something that she loves.
I'm blabbling.
While battling, right? Blabbling. While fighting COVID. So, guys, she deserves like an Oscar or something.
No, I've failed. Multiple times where I'm like, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. It's that foggy head space.
We get it. We all under. Ooh, squirrel. How you doing, Toxic?
Toxic showing you his ass. But
technically, he's showing me my wife's ass.
That is very true. But it's his ass that he got as an emote, in a sense. So, is it technically your wife's ass, or is it his ass because he has emotes?
Well, let's put it this way. If that is Toxic's ass, how you doing?
So let's finish this up real quick. So the directors of the movie are already thinking about a possibility of there being a sequel because there are so many rooms to the house, as well as so many different stories that could have been told based off of the people that have died at the hand of the rifle. So, do you think they're going to do a sequel?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It is nice and juicy. Yeah. But I'm gonna be honest with you. It would be hard to make a factual movie based on the house, but that wouldn't stop Hollywood of doing a sequel. We've seen them do terrible sequels before, so I would see it because I did fall in love with the first movie, and it made me love the Winchester house and the whole story behind it. And I kid you not, one day I will go. I will go check out this house. But as far as will they do a second movie? Probably. Will it be any good? Probably not.
Maybe a different director down a different path. No, it was the directors of the movies that said that they were thinking about doing a sequel. Yeah, most definitely. I would love to go.
We could make it a family event. We'll all go.
All of us, all the kids, all the spouses.
And Ozera can be our host.
Are you going to be our guide?
Our guide, thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Just an FYI, there will be like
10 kids.
Yeah, they try to count.
4 adults minimum.
Oh, it's a Japanese garden. Happy Hollow. Aw. It has a koi pond. We can go. Toxic coming in with we can go whenever you want.
Let's go right now.
Yeah, what time is it? Let's book the airfare right now. Let's go.
Right this second. It does sound beautiful, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. Yes, young gun, you can come. Now we add another kid to it, so we now have 11.
Right. And apparently, Daddy Savior is gonna take us all.
Yeah, Daddy Savior. At the right, we are grounded at the moment. Look at you, got me all excited and everything. Shoot.
Right? She's all flustered. Gosh. Stupid COVID.
But thank you so much, Dave, for coming on and just call me Daddy. Thank you so much for coming on today.
It's been a pleasure. I've had an amazing time, and you actually taught me some things that I didn't know. So thank you for having me. And guys, thank you for having me as well, and listening to my nonsense and rambling.
Are you all alone?
Are you all alone? I'll take you for your birthday if you want, but I know you're busy, or we would go to VA. What? Oh, my birthday? VA? Why would we go to VA? Oh, yeah, because, duh. I'm sorry. His mom wanted us to go to Virginia for, they do like a big barbecue. But I shouted you out. Go follow the TheGameAndWatchBros. If you don't, they're going.
Stop it! Don't follow those guys. They're losers. You know, one of them's half bunny or some shit. The other one just sits there and blames hackers for all of his failures. Don't watch.
You never blame hackers. Shut up.
Yeah, see, young gun doesn't want to.
Yeah. You know, he kind of is roped into where he has to because he's family. Like, it's funny how he thinks that he doesn't have to do anything.
Totally. They're totally weirdos. Like, Daddy Savior said it perfectly. They're
Daddy
totally
Savior.
weirdos.
Well, guys, we appreciate all of you for being here. And always stay spooky. Bye. What the fuck is that face, Dave?
I was all like, hi, or bye. And then you're like, stay spooky. I was like,
Now, before we go, I was gonna. Is there anybody in your list that we could raid?
there is these Weird Mystery Girls Inc.
We rated One-Eyed last time. So
we have Warrior Gamer.
okay, yeah. Could you post his?
Yeah. I mean, no. God, who do you think?
Thank you for the follow. I know. I need to change it to where my Streamlabs. You hear who messing with COD? Oh, you're doing Philly. You want to do Philly gaming?
Yeah, because I just checked Warrior Gaming, and they're offline.
Okay.
So the only two people from from
Wow.
Shh, that didn't happen, guys. The only two people from S10 is One-Eyed and Philly Gaming. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll talk to everyone later. have a good one. Bye now.
Don't tell him, Daddy Savior.